Y'all, this story right here, this shit right here, this the craziest damn Uber ride. This top tier. Cause I need to let y'all know. This is top tier. This the worst one of my Uber experiences while I was driving for Uber. I drove for Uber for 5 years, like I already said. But this was this set the tone for all the bullshit that comes after this. Don't click off. Grab your stuff and come on back. I need you to just be able to just be ready to absorb this bullshit. Just be ready. And yeah, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing and all that other good shit. I don't know. Just thanks.
Know what I'm talking about, babe? Yeah. Now it's time for me.
Welcome back to my channel.
12 seconds later.
It's my channel, Jolanda Beauty. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and subscribing to my channel and liking, comment, doing all that other stuff. All the people that's been doing it, I appreciate y'all so much. I thank you guys so much for all of the nice comments, the feedback on my other story times, and subscribing. Like, I got so many new subscribers. So hey y'all, I wanted to do like a promo for my friend Tiffany. She does nails, and I'm gonna insert a video of her press-ons. So I had ordered a press-on set from her, and I will have a video somewhere around with me unpacking, showing you the packaging and showing you like all the stuff. Her website is tiffanynailswithaz.com. She does press-ons and she'll ship them. She ships everywhere. She has a site. That's her website. So I was just giving my friend a little shout out because yesterday I recorded, like I said, I recorded a video already of me doing this, but I was kind of messed up. I was drinking with her and I was a little bit, faded, a little bit tipsy, maybe more. And I didn't like nothing. I didn't like the way I did my makeup. I didn't like anything. So I was like, yeah, it's probably because I was drinking. I don't know. So I was like, I'm not uploading that. So I want to give you quality and good content. So no half stepping with this. Anyway, thank you guys, like I said, so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And also, if you're new here, let me know in the comments that you knew and where you came from. If you came from one of my previous story times or this one or whatever. And yeah, let's get into the story. So without further ado, you know what I always say. And on my other videos, get you a snack, get you a drink, and get ready because we about to just gossip about me. We finna just get into this. Period. So if you clicked on the video, then you already know what the story time is about. It's about my Uber. It's about somebody fighting in the Uber or fighting. I don't know what I'm gonna title it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a title. But anyway, it's basically about me. I was an Uber driver, and I will insert that somewhere around here. You're going to see, like, I did Uber for 5 years. So I did Uber from 2014 to 2019. And I stopped like November, like towards the beginning of December, November-ish of 2019, I stopped doing Uber. And the reason why I stopped was because I had a full-time job and I wasn't making enough doing Uber. I didn't feel like it was worth my time to go out there and do it because I wasn't making no money. It was really slow. It wasn't like it used to be back then. Now maybe it's probably better because the pandemic and all this other stuff didn't, happen or whatever. So I know when I traveled to all these different little places I went to, I would talk to Uber drivers and they would tell me like, oh, I make more money now because this and that. But anyway, scratch all that. I had did this ride, and this ride I did was on New Year's Eve. So this New Year's Eve was the New Year's Eve going into 2016. So it was 2015 going into 2016 New Year's Eve. And this where I was at, I live in Houston, so I was in the city center Memorial area, but I was in city center because I was in city center. So when I picked the person up, they were in city center. I decided to stay in that area because I was getting a lot of rides in that area, and all the rides that I was getting in city center was long distance. So it wasn't like a short ride all the rides that I would do like downtown. People live like in Midtown, or they lived in the medical center area, or they lived in that part. So I wasn't driving far. So I was like, no, I'm gonna just stay farther out, because the people that's going to city center live in Katy, live on the Southwest, live downtown, like they going far. So this ride that I had picked up, it was in city center at the hotel that's in city center. So when I got the request, I had went there and I pulled up, and immediately as I pulled up, it was a man that was walking towards the car, and I rolled the window down, and he said, he told me his name or whatever, and he was like, can you just give me a few minutes? You could start the meter. I have to go back inside real quick. And I was like, okay. So I sat there and I waited, and maybe like 5 more minutes, he came back, and he was just like, just give me a few more minutes. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I don't want you to be, waiting. But he was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. He's like, I'm sorry about this. He was like, I'm just waiting on them to come. So when he said them, I knew it was other people that was coming. So when he went back, I saw that it was a lady walking towards the car. I guess that was his girlfriend, and he was telling her like, that's the car. So she started walking towards the car, and she had, I want to tell y'all what she had on. They were African American, black. She was black, and she had a lady with her, and that lady, I'm gonna give her a name. I gave her a name in the other one. Her name in when I recorded earlier, I called her Psycho, but because she was acting crazy, she was psychotic. But I think I'm gonna give her no, we're gonna just keep her name Psycho. Her name was Psycho, and her cousin was with her, and I called her cousin because I didn't want to give her a name. I just was like, cousin Psycho. Okay, Psycho is the lady. Her cousin is a lady, so we're gonna call her cousin. And the man, I'm not gonna give him a name. I'm just gonna keep calling him the guy, or him, because he's the only guy in the whole story. There's no other people in this story. So we're just gonna call him the guy, or the man, or whatever. Whatever I call him, y'all know I'm talking about him. So, okay, she started walking to the car, and she goes around the front of the car. She had on like a nice ball gown dress. It was fitted to her shape. It was like sequins, like my background. It was like that. It was probably like a color like that too, but it was sequins. It was long. It was also all the way to the floor. You couldn't see her shoes, but she had on very high heels, and she was very tall. She was not a shorter lady. She was tall, like probably almost with them heels, maybe 6 feet, 6'1". She was really tall. The lady that was with her was a shorter lady. She had on a sequin dress too, but it was a short one, and she had her heels in her hand, and she was walking towards the car. Now, when I picked them up, it was 12:01. It was like midnight hit, and he requested the Uber, or like right before the midnight had hit, he requested me, and it was like 12:01 when I pulled up. So they immediately left, like soon as it hit 12. Okay. She walks in front of the car and walks towards my side to the back to sit behind me. And she sat behind me. She got in the car and she sat behind me. Then the other lady got in and she sat in the back seat, passenger side. And then he walks like up, like maybe a minute or two later, and he gets in the car and he's like asking me like, how was I doing? And I told him that I was doing good. And he was like, that's good. And then I asked everybody, because every time somebody get in the car, I was be like, how you doing? How y'all doing? I don't really try to make small talk unless they want to talk. So I don't really be trying to talk. So if they want to talk to me, like I'll talk to them. But if they don't want to talk, like I don't force no conversation. I'm just like, I'm not going to make people talk to me. Like if they want to talk to me, they'll talk to me. It's cool. So she got in the car, and when she got in the car and I said, how y'all doing? She was like, do
you know who you sitting next to?
And I was like,
Hi.
Okay.
I didn't say, because I don't remember his name, and I didn't give him a name, but I was like, the guy or whatever. I'm like, I said his name or whatever. And she was like,
no, you sitting next to Judas. You sitting next to the devil. You sitting next to Lucifer. That's the devil. That's Lucifer. That's the devil. Like he's
she just starts saying like really mean stuff about him. But that's what she said out the gate. Like, you sitting next to Lucifer, you sitting next to the devil. And I was just looking at him like, and he was just like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, she's drunk. I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. And so I'm like, oh, just sit back and put on your seatbelt. And she was like,
you need to, like, she kept throwing her hand, like, you need to know that you sitting next to the devil. That's Lucifer. That he's not a good person. This, that, and the other.
Like, she was just going into this whole little like tangent of how she didn't like him basically, and how he was not a good guy, whatever. She was going on about all of that stuff or whatever. So, okay. We were still sitting in front of the hotel that I picked him up from. And I just like probably hit the block, like just the corner. Like, I was still in the area. I didn't even get out into the road. I'm still in the area. All of a sudden, like, she pops him, like hits him or whatever. And then he turns around. He's like, you need to stop. Like, you need to sit back and put your seatbelt on. So I told her, I was like, hey, just put your seatbelt on. Just sit back. Like, stop. Don't hit him. Just sit back. And she was like,
you don't know like how he is. He's the devil. He's Lucifer. He's Judas. He's this. And I'm going to make sure
And then she started going off on other stuff. I'm not going to say all of everything because I don't remember everything. But basically, the main gist, she kept calling him the devil. And every name associated with the devil. And then she hit him. And he turned around and like was like, stop hitting. Like, you need to sit back. So I told her, sit back, put your seatbelt on, stop. So then she got in, like, you know how the console of the car is. You got my seat, me, then next to me, and then in between, you know, the console. She put her body like linked into the console like this and was like putting her hand and like pushing his head and talking crazy to him and doing all this. So I was like, you gotta sit back. Cause I'm like, you won't get us pulled over. It's cops. I pointed like to the cops in front of us. I'm like, this police right here. Now my car, I had a Charger. I had a Dodge Charger. I had a 2014 Dodge Charger. And yeah, I had a 2014 Dodge Charger. And I had some dark tinted windows all around, and I had the eyebrow in the front, so my shit was super dark. But when you look directly in, you could see her, you could see people. Like, you have to look directly in, and straight ahead was like cops. And I'm like, you gonna get us like pulled over? They gonna come pull us over because you like right here, like you gotta sit back. Like, I'm driving and I'm like telling her like I'm slowing up because, like I said, I wasn't gone. I just hit the block a little bit. So I'm like, you gotta sit back. You can't be doing all of that. You gotta sit back. So she was like, okay, because I'm like, if you don't and they pull us over, they're gonna take you to jail for public and like I said PI. They're gonna take you for PI. And I'm like, do you know what PI is? And she's like, yeah, I know what that is. And I'm like, what is it? And she was like, public intoxication. She's drunk. Public intoxication. I'm like, okay, so sit back. I'm like, you look pretty, you look nice, you got a nice dress on. I'm like, sit back. Don't act like that. Like, sit back, put your seatbelt on, because we got a long way to go. Now, this trip was a long trip. This was a 40-minute drive. This was not around the corner. This is a long drive because I had to take them into Katy. He lived deep in Katy. We're in the city center Memorial area. That's, if you familiar with Houston, you kind of would know what I'm talking about. If you're not, that's from where he was to where he was going. That's a long way. So 40 minutes because he was in Katy, but like deep in Katy. Like I said, it wasn't no get off the freeway in his place right there. No, we got to get off and drive a long way, drive down these roads to get to his place. So anyway, she get in the car and I ended up, me and him, like when she sat back and she put her seatbelt on, he ended up telling me like that he was sorry. He was already apologizing. He was like, I'm so sorry she drunk. I'm apologizing. Now, I told y'all the cousin was in the car. The whole time the cousin didn't say nothing. She was just sitting in the car. She ain't stopped the girl. When the girl came through the console, she ain't say, sit back. She ain't tell her put her seatbelt on. She ain't do nothing. She just sat back, put her seatbelt on, and she was quiet the whole time. Now, When we get out to the feeder road is the road that's next to the freeway. If you don't know anything about that or never heard that term before, that is a road that is next to the freeway or highway or interstate, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from, before you could get on it. So it's the road that follows. So if you don't want to get on the freeway, you could follow the road that leads you in the same direction or whatever. So I turn off and get onto the feeder because I need to get to the freeway. So when I turn out, he started telling me like what happened. He was like, I took an Uber from downtown because I wanted to, and she in the back, but he's not talking super loud, but he's talking, the music was on, so she kind of probably was listening, but not really. I don't know. She was drunk. But anyway, he was like, yeah, I took an Uber from downtown. I wanted to make sure that I came back before midnight because I wanted to kiss her at midnight. He said I had some things to do. I had to handle some business downtown. So I had to run up there real quick. And then I tried to come back because he said this event was my family's event that we were at. And he was like, she totally embarrassed me. He said she threw a drink on me. I didn't kiss her at midnight. She got mad. And he was like, and I left and she just got super drunk. And he was like, she has a drinking problem. Basically, he was like, she had a drinking problem. She abuses alcohol really bad and she doesn't know how to conduct herself or handle herself when she drinks. He's like, I'm really sorry about how she's behaving, but I'm sorry. And I was like, it's okay. So in the meantime, in between that time, she's still up and she's still like, she not saying anything, but then all of a sudden she started like talking crap to him again. Like she was just like telling him she gonna cheat on him. She said she was gonna make sense of this. Basically in the fight when they was arguing, because they started arguing, because she started saying stuff to him and she was like, oh, that apartment, I'm gonna bring a nigga back to that place and I'm gonna fuck him on your couch. And ain't nothing you gonna do about it, because I'm gonna call him soon as you leave, soon as you drop us off, because I guess his car was there, so I was dropping him to that and dropping them to their place, because that apartment he got for her. Now that I told you she was black, he was black, but he was from Africa. He was African guy, but very nice looking guy. He didn't look like, sometimes you could kind of tell, but you couldn't tell with him. I didn't even know until she started saying like racist stuff about his culture and stuff. And she was just like, she was just being like really mean. She was like, that's why he from over there. That's why he need this. And saying all of this stuff about how she gonna keep using him and she gonna mess with some dude and she gonna bring him to the house. Soon as he leave, she calling him and she gonna sleep with him on the couch or whatever at the place he paying for. And she gonna keep, and he gonna buy her this, he gonna do this and that, and he ain't nothing he gonna do about it, because she gonna get what she gonna get. And when he started saying stuff back to her, she jumped up. I promise y'all, she jumped up, put her body back in between the console, hit the seatbelt. Because when you sitting in the car, the seatbelt is like right here. Seatbelts, when you click them, they go over. So you click it this way, it's gonna be over. Click it this way, it's over. So the seatbelt is right here where she can reach. She snapped that seatbelt for him, jumped over his body, like put her body over his body. She got a whole fucking dress on. Ball gowns, heels, she didn't even take her heels off. She still fully took her body and hit the door. So I told you I have a Dodge Charger. So Chargers in the front, you can open the door, even if it's locked. If you hit the thing, it'll open the door. You don't have to hit an unlock button and then the door. Some cars is like that. Like even if you try to open it, you got to hit the unlock button. No. The back, yes. The back, if I lock it, which it was locked, you can't open it unless I unlock the door. But in the front, you can do it. She hit the button to the seatbelt and open, and I'm getting onto the freeway. I was already on probably. I don't think I was getting on because I was on it already driving. She hit the button and tried to open the door while I'm driving. And I'm over here like, no, like I'm trying to drive and doing like this with my hand. She's hitting him and pushing the door. And luckily, he was fast enough. He grabbed the seatbelt and he clicked it back. But he was trying to close the door too. And we going fast. And I'm trying to slow down. And he's trying to close the door and fighting with her. And she's hitting him, like punching them, hitting. All you see is fist. This, because they doing it to each other. Like, soon as he got the door closed and I locked the door, I mean, it didn't even matter because the door was locked. She still unlocked the door. It didn't matter. But as soon as he closed the door, he turned his whole, like, he turned, but he still had his seatbelt on because she might unlock that shit again. He turned his body a little bit because he wasn't a big guy. He was a smaller frame guy, like medium build, not too big, not too small. He turned his body and he just started, all you see is fists going. Luckily, I ain't get hit. But I'm telling y'all, the whole time that everything was going on, the cousin was sitting right there, right here, cousin, right here. In the back, she ain't do shit. She ain't say nothing. She ain't try to stop it. She ain't do nothing. She just sat there quiet. I don't know if she was scared. I don't know if this girl be slapping her ass up. I don't know. But she ain't do nothing. She ain't say nothing. It just was what it was. So they fighting and they punching and doing all this type of shit. And all of a sudden, he did pop that seatbelt. And his body was up, like he was turned towards her, and he was trying to stop her, but then he started hitting her back because she was punching him and hitting them and just slapping them, punching them, doing all kind of shit and screaming at him and talking about he the devil and saying all this stuff, and she hate him, and they like going crazy. Like that's why I say her name Psycho. She was going crazy, like she went completely psychotic, fucking crazy. And I don't know if it's because I kept saying stop or if I kept, because I was doing like this too, trying to stop them from like stop, like I'm driving and I'm trying to get over, and because I was going to exit, but she ended up stopping. Like, I promise y'all, it was like she was possessed or some shit. But so in the mix of all of this going on, she ended up stopping. And when she stopped, she sat back in the seat and she just put her seatbelt on. I don't know what the fuck. That girl something was wrong. I mean, if liquor doing that, she put her seatbelt back on. And cause I don't know. She just sat back and she put her seatbelt on. And cause I kept telling them stop cause I'm about to pull over. So she put her seatbelt on and then she sat back and she just like, kind of like passed out. She only passed out probably a total, because the ride was like a 40-minute ride, and they started fighting like within a 15-minute span of us in the car. So she fell asleep for about 10-15 minutes. She fell asleep because he started talking to me again, and he just was like, he was sorry, he don't act like that, that's not him. And I just told him, because she was sleeping because we could hear her snoring. She was snoring and stuff. And I was just like, hey, I hope you don't stay with her. I was like, I hope you don't stay with her. I hope you don't, that's not cool. She threw a drink on you in front of your family. She embarrassed you. She embarrassing you right now. That's not how a lady's supposed to conduct herself. I don't care if you drunk. I know sometimes when you get drunk, you don't have control over your emotions or your mood or your thoughts or nothing. Sometimes you just be fucked up, and maybe that's what's going on with her. But I'm like, this right here, what she doing? I was like, that is out of line. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I'm like, she embarrassed you in front of your family. She's talking about your culture. She's being racist, low key. I'm like, she don't like you. She basically using you, and she just told you she gonna cheat on you and sleep with a dude that in the place that you paying for. Like, how you can't keep being dumb. Like, you need to leave her alone. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave her alone. I'm not gonna mess with her no more. I'm about to, this is it. I'm done. He kept telling me he done. I'm like, I'm done. I know it's hard. I understand. Like, when you really be fucking with a person. I mean, clearly he is, because he paying for that place and he don't even live there. He helped her out. So, and he told me he'd be helping her out with anything. She need money. She need anything. He's like, I give it to her. I take care of her. I make sure she's good. But she is verbally and physically abusive. He's like, she likes to fight. And when she drinks, she doesn't know how to handle herself. She acts, she's real fucked up. And he's like, I'm tired of it. Like, I've been going through this with her for about, I think he said he was with her for like a year and a half. That's too soon to keep dealing with that shit. But anyway, we talked about all of this within 15 minutes. Okay, we get off the freeway because I want to speed this shit up, because, I mean, y'all already know they was fighting. They still was fighting. This ain't the end of the fight. Now, we get off the freeway We driving down the street. We probably got another 10 minutes. Now this happened in 10 minutes because it was from the time I got off the freeway to the time I hit the apartments. This happened. Get off the freeway and we drive down the street. And once we get down the road a little bit, we kind of like, she wakes up and she says, she like burped really loud, like real loud. She burped and I was asking her, did you want me to roll the window down? I'm like, do you want me to roll the window down? Because I didn't know if she was going to throw up. Because I told y'all, I ain't tell y'all yet, but I got a whole bunch of stories, especially about people throwing up in my car. So whenever I would hear like people belch really loud or like tell me they need air or like doing all this like in the back, like acting like doing all this, like I'm looking at you like, I'm not one of them people that just drive and just watch the road. And no, I'm looking in that mirror. I got my shit turned where I can see you. I want to see what the hell you doing behind me. I need to know what's going on because I will be one of these people that will turn my whole head and look to see what the hell you doing. I'm gonna turn all the way around and look at you. So I ain't one of them people that just be driving. This ain't for the weak. Doing that Uber shit, especially at nighttime, because I would do it at night. I would do nighttime only until like 3, 4 in the morning. Sometimes I'd be out there. Them people out at night, baby, it ain't for the weak. I tell you that. It ain't for the weak. You finna get all type of crazy weirdos getting up in your damn car. But so we get off at the exit because I done went down a goddamn rabbit hole. And if you watch my story times, y'all know I go down them holes, and sometimes it go deep, and sometimes I'm just out and I'm in and out of that shit. But okay, let's continue. So I get off and I get down the road a little bit, and she wakes up, like I said, and I asked her, do you want me to roll the window down? And she said, yes. So I roll the window down for her to get some air. She said, who is that bitch? Now, I don't know who she talking to. I'm confused. Me and him both looking at each other like, who she talking about?
First of all,
so she's like, who is that bitch? Now, she said a second time, so I know she talking about me. She talking about me. So he was like, that's the Uber driver. She's the lady who's been taking us home. And she was like, no, you fucking that bitch. You fucking her. You fucking this bitch. And she got up and immediately started, well, hold on. She got up and because I didn't tell y'all, she did hit me. She hit me, but she didn't hit me like she was hitting him. She just did look like that shit to my head. And then she got up immediately and started hitting him. And they started fighting, and this time he wasn't holding her, like trying to make her stop. He was hitting her ass back, and he was giving it to her. They was fighting, and the cousin didn't do nothing. She ain't saying that she ain't do anything. I was telling them, stop. We almost there. Stop fighting. So they stopped fighting, and then I'm pulling to make the turn to stop in between the medium, because like when you on a road and it's a road going 2 lanes going this way, 2 lanes going the opposite way, and it got the grass in the middle. I'm turning in between the grass because I need to cut across to get into the apartments, because we at the apartments. This girl I'm crossing a lane of traffic and this car is coming, but I'm crossing. She took the ignition and hit it into park while I'm driving. While I'm driving across the traffic, she hit the thing, like hit it hard. And because I told y'all she hit me and I didn't do nothing. I ain't do nothing because I already knew they about to get out. I was already pissed. My blood was boiling. I was like, they got to get the fuck out now. Like, I'm here. I can't do this no more because I'm getting mad. Like, I'm getting mad because she fucking tripping. So she hit the shit and it stopped in the middle of traffic and the fucking cars is coming. Quickly, I had to quickly put the car back in the drive, and I went up the ramp to, like, they lived in some nice apartments. I went up the ramp and I did not go inside. I didn't even go towards the gate to put the code in or nothing. I just went up the ramp and pulled over to the side. And I'm like, she got to get she got to get out. Like, that's when I was like, fuck this. She got to get out. Like, I'm not taking her in. I'm not gonna be nice and get her close to the door like I do everybody else. Fuck that. She got to walk. So she hops out the fucking car. She hop out the car. she's sitting behind me. Remember, I said she was sitting behind me. She opens her door and comes to my door, and she started yanking my door. Like my whole car was moving. She's yanking trying to open the door. She pulling on the handle, and the handle is, my whole car was rocking like this. She doing that, and she's like, get out the fucking car, like telling me to get out the car, like screaming and yelling and whatever. He jumps out and he's running around. All of this is happening fast. I have a taser. A taser is probably like half this size of this bottle. I have a taser. I always keep that bitch on me. I kept taser on me, and I kept dog mace, like mace that people use on dogs. I know that is inhumane, but they do make mace, like mail carriers and stuff. They need, and UPS people and stuff like that, they use that when them dogs be chasing their ass. Well, I had some dog mace. I had the mace, and I had the fucking taser. But the taser, I had the taser in my hand. So I pulled the taser and I turned it on. The cousin sitting behind me. And I said, the door is open behind me. So I'm like, if she try to get me from the back, I'm going to just start sticking her ass. I'm not going to let her do nothing to me. I'm going to fuck her up. It's popping now. It's up. It's up. The cousin going to tell this. Now, the whole time, the cousin ain't said a word. The cousin ain't say shit. The whole 40-minute ride. Because I'm clapping because she ain't say shit. As soon as I pull that motherfucking taser out, though. Oh, you got something to say, huh? You could talk now?
That you do.
She's like, let her make it. Real calm, real mellow, real mild. Oh, just let her make it. Just let her make it. But can you do me a favor? Can you drive me up towards the gate? I mean, I looked at her ass. Let her make it. I'm already blood boiling, motherfucking hype. I'm like, I told her, if this door just magically open, I'm tasing her ass and I ain't gonna stop. While I'm saying this to the cousin, she takes the door, the girl, psycho, and slams the back door shut with her dumb ass. I'm like, if she really was trying to hit me, fight me, whatever, she would have got me from the back. She had the upper hand. She's behind me. I put the bitch in a chokehold. Something like, you behind me. She ain't do shit because she was drunk. So he runs out, drops all his shit in the car, like his wallet, his keys, his debit card, all his shit in the seat, like all his stuff, money, all his stuff in the seat. She's still in the back. She ain't get out yet. He runs across and grabs her, and then they start fighting. And I'm gonna insert this little clip that I seen on Facebook, because I don't have a TikTok, but I think it's from TikTok because it got that little heart shit, and I don't have a TikTok. But I'm gonna insert this, and this is how she was fighting. She was fighting the bushes, and I'm gonna show y'all in this little clip. How her dumb ass looked. She had a full dress on, y'all. Full ball gown dress on, heels on, everything. And she out there fighting this man. And he was getting her. He was like, I ain't about to, no. He was fighting her ass back. And I don't condone that shit, you know, that domestic abuse stuff. But I do condone this. If a motherfucker hits you, and you bold enough to hit their ass, be bold enough to take that hit back. If they fuck around and knock your ass to fucking next week. If they knock your ass in the next week, you ask for that. Because you shouldn't be putting your hands on people. You don't know what that person is capable of doing. Whether it's a male or a female. You better stop hitting these men. They're going to fucking knock your ass out. So she laid out in the fucking grass. Not knocked out, but she's laying down. Because he done pushed her ass and did all this stuff to her. And I'll drive up because they were fighting, and they started fighting towards the gate to get into the apartments. I'm still further back, but I see them because they were fighting. I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna pull up to the gate, but I'm not going inside. I just told y'all I ain't going inside. Like she gotta go, and you ain't even stop. You ain't even do nothing. You ain't stop her. You ain't do nothing. So nah, I'm finna drop your ass off too. So I pull up. She jump out. She's like, thank you. Like, get your motherfucking ass up. I just had to get quiet. Because when this motherfucker told me thank you, I was just looking like, I ain't say nothing. This is in my head. I'm like, get your motherfucking ass up out of my car. Like, you dumb ass idiot. You ain't even stop her. You didn't do shit. You let her fight on him, hit me in my fucking head, talk crazy. You ain't tell her, hey, chill out, calm down. Like, any sensible person would have been trying to be like reasonable and calm the bitch down. But you just sitting back. She must have slapped your ass up a couple times. But you know, I mean, okay. She get out the car. I pull up and he's standing and she's sitting on the curb. You know, the curb where you got all the pretty plants and bushes and trees and flower. They lived in a very nice fucking apartment complex. Excuse me. They live in a nice apartment complex. So I pull up and I had my hand, I roll the window down. I had all his stuff. This girl ain't even taking shit. That's how fucking... She ain't even take his stuff. She ain't even say, you want me to grab his stuff and give it to him? Nothing. I pull up, roll the window down, and I have all his stuff in my hand. And I'm telling him, here, I say his name, and I'm like, here, all your stuff. And I'm like, man, listen, I hope that you do everything you say you're going to do. Leave her ass alone. She is an embarrassment. This is trifling as hell. Ridiculous as hell, like embarrassing as hell. He was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's like, I apologize. I'm so sorry. He's like, please don't rate me bad. I'm like, that's all he fucking care about is a rating? You care about if I'm gonna rate you bad out of all this bullshit? I'm like, just do the favor for me. Leave her ass alone. She disrespectful. She disrespected you as a man, as your culture, as everything. Like, this is past beyond coming back. I wouldn't take her ass back. She talking about fucking a nigga in the apartment you got her. She talking about bringing a nigga over there. Nah, it ain't. I know my jealous ass. I ain't with none of that shit. As soon as you start talking about some cheating shit, it's up. No. I'm like, no. You took an Uber from downtown to meet her at 12 to give her kisses because you had something to do, and she acted this fucking crazy. No. I hope you don't be with her. I hope you don't. And he said he wasn't. He was like, I'm gonna leave her alone. I already said I'm done. I'm not doing this no more with her. I'm done. I was like, okay. And I drove, like I did the little Yui, and I called my late husband because I was married. I told y'all. I called him and I was like, my blood was boiling. Like, I was so mad. I was fuming. I'm talking about, I wanted to fight. I was pissed. I'm like, I can't. And this happened before. So I picked him up at 12:01. By the time I got to them, it was about 12:45 after all that bullshit. I'm like, I still got a lot of time. I could be picking up more rides. It was surged and all of that. His ride was surged too. So that ride, I had made a lot of money off of that ride. I didn't get the regular pay. Like, would have been like a $30, $35 trip or something like that. I got more than that, close to probably $100. It was a lot, but I didn't give a fuck. I was mad. I didn't care about that fucking money or nothing, because I called him and I was telling him, like, they was fighting in the car. She tried to fight me. She hit me. She like nudged me in my fucking head, called me a bitch. I don't care about you calling me a bitch. That's cool. I don't care. I'm the baddest fucking bitch you ever met in your motherfucking life. That shit don't faze me at all. The point is, don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. Keep your hands to yourself. Because like I said, you going to fuck around and touch the right one, and it's going to be up. Your ass going to be wishing you ain't never did that shit. So I was just telling my husband, I'm like, I'm mad. This bitch touched me. They was fighting. It was a mess. He's like, why didn't you just pull over and let them out? Told them to get out the car. Why you ain't? I know I should have did it, but I felt sympathy for him because it ain't his fault that she acting stupid like this. And I'm going to tell y'all some other stories that happened to me, that it wasn't even the person that called me. It was the people that was with them that was causing all the fucking mayhem. And all those situations, I made they ass get out. I was like, I ain't taking them no motherfucking where. I'll take you, but I ain't taking their ass. They could figure out what the fuck they gonna do. That it just like this right here set the tone for all the rest of the shit, because when this happened to me, I probably was only doing Uber for about 2 years. And at that 2-year mark, I ain't had no problems. You know, they would be drunk and they say like little shit, but nobody ever was fighting, but they would do other stuff. But then when that had happened, I started having other shit happen to me in the car. And I don't know why these people would be doing the stuff that they be doing. I don't know why they think that this is not your car. This is somebody else's car. You disrespecting the person and their vehicle. Conduct yourself better. Like if you want to fight, like I done had couples, and I told, this is a couple fighting. Girlfriend, boyfriend. I done had girlfriend, boyfriends in the car breaking up. Girlfriend, boyfriends in the car cussing each other out because the nigga done gave his number to a bitch in the club. I done had all type of shit happen. And they in the car arguing. They ain't never hit each other, but they arguing. But they was fighting, like fist fighting, punching. She tried to throw them out the car while I'm driving on the freeway, doing all that shit. And I still took them. And I know y'all gonna be like, why? So what I want y'all to do is in the comments down below, if you haven't commented already as I'm going, and if you made it this far, you're a real one. I need to say that too, because this is a long story. But if you made it this far, you're a real one. Leave me a comment down below. And if you like my Uber story and you want to hear more Uber stories, because I have a lot. I did Uber for 5 years. 5 years. And it was some people done try to have sex in my car. People done call me racist names. Spit in the car. Threw up in my car. I done got pulled over 3 times while doing Uber. I got pulled over once while people were in the car. I got pulled over 2 times without people in the car. And yeah, I had a lot of stuff happen. So if you want to know more of my Uber stories and you just, you want to hear them, I'll have another one up for you. I'll do the next one. Cause this next story I'll tell y'all, and I give you just a little, if you get this far and you just want to hear it, just say spill on the comments, just spill. I just need you, cause I know you got to this part. Me and this lady was about to fight in the middle of downtown. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. And that's the next story I'll tell y'all. If you want to know about that Uber story, just put spill and I'm gonna tell y'all. And yeah, thank you so much for subscribing and liking my channel, and welcome, like I said, and I'll see you guys in my next upload. Leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all would do in the situation if you would have took them out, whatever. Y'all know what to do. Do all of that. And I'll see you in my next upload. Bye.